Rory,
Hit me.
what is wrong with Chelsea?
Todd Boehly. Next.
Explain.
Mate, the entire identity of the club has been shredded in the space of about a year. Like everything that Chelsea were, everything that Chelsea are, everything that we're meant to represent has been totally eroded under this new ownership. They are trying to rip up the rule book and change the way that Chelsea do business. I genuinely mean this. I want there to be, and there should be, and I will be there if it happens, Boehly out protest on the Fulham Road. Like, he has totally and utterly ruined what Chelsea were. Like, what Chelsea were always capable of doing is winning. Like, regardless of what was going on at the club, regardless of individual issues, regardless of managerial sackings, Chelsea were always a competitor. And that's why over the past 2 decades, Chelsea are the most successful club. He's been there for what feels like a couple of minutes. And we finished 12th, 1-0, and are currently on 5 points out of 6 games.
And spent £1 billion.
Can I just say again, I asked you this question knowing I've received this question when I criticised the Glazers, and it does my head in why people ask that. But how is Todd Boehly responsible for the results?
Oh, well, I think, you know what they're trying to do when they sign players? I think do you know football fans, and I reckon you'll empathise with this, football fans seem to equate spending money with good ownership and not spending money with bad ownership. Now, of course, good owners can spend money. Manchester City are an example of that. Good owners can spend money. But being a good owner is broader than simply putting your hand in your pocket. You know, if a billionaire spends money, it's the easiest thing in the world for them to do. It's the least impressive thing. You go, he spent, Farhad Moshiri spent £500 million on Everton. Yeah, the geezer's a multi-billionaire. Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Like, that was, I'm not even using Moshiri as an example of a bad owner because I think there's so much going on at that club.
owner.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when billionaires spend money and they get credit for it, you're like, hang on a minute, it's the change down the back of the sofa to them. It doesn't matter. The way that we're spending the money is so misguided, and it's all done through the lens of trying to inflate the value. It's taking a Premier League team and trying to squeeze it for every single penny that it's worth. It's like wringing out a cloth that's wet, and that's what he's doing with Chelsea Football Club. What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the club. Before we get into this clip, I need to let you know that we are partnered with Super 6, and I have some fantastic news for you. This week, you can win twice on Super 6. That's right, there are 2 opportunities for you to win £250,000. The Carabao Cup fixtures are available for you. All you have to do is download the Super 6 app. It won't cost you a penny, and join our mini league. The code is CLUB23. You could win £250,000 and it will not cost you a penny. That's right, you have 2 opportunities to win £250,000 this week. Hope you enjoyed the clip. So yeah, he's overspent for the club, and he spent £1 billion of his own money. So let's say that he's what, £5 billion down as a consortium, Clearlake. They hope that the valuation of all these players that they've bought, and therefore the valuation of the club, and the valuation of the club is always going to be high because of where it's situated. You know, it's in the heart of Fulham. I think that the players aren't signed to be good for the first team. The players are signed because they could go on to double their value, triple their value, quadruple their value, and therefore he can sell the club in a decade for $10 billion. I think that the reason that they're here is because the Premier League feels like the Wild West to them. If you're an American sport is so regulated. Like, he could not do what he's done here to American sport. This feels like the Wild West. And he's over here signing players, and not only signing players, transfer policy. Getting rid of players who are clearly part of the identity of the club.
I also feel that's a huge flaw in FFP, though. When they go,
oh, mate.
Financial fair play, just get rid of all your academy players. It's 100% profit on your balance.
I know. It's a disgrace.
You're incentivizing
it's
getting rid of all your academy players rather than...
Yeah, and you know what will happen?
The opposite.
Like, look, we're all over the place, but who's a good example here? Conor Gallagher is actually a very good example here. Captain of the club the other day, right? Conor Gallagher will be sold, I believe, by this ownership, not because he can't contribute to the team, but because his potential ceiling isn't as high as the potential ceiling of, say, Lavia, and therefore his potential rate won't be as high. And because what's Conor Gallagher worth?
50.
100% profit.
Yeah.
It's only profit. Everything is being done through the lens of making the money that they've spent sweat for them, and therefore breed more money. It isn't about the first.
Do you have some sympathy for Poch then with what he's having?
Yeah, I don't think Pochettino's doing well. I think the two things can coexist here. Pochettino's not doing well. Pochettino is making some errors, and Pochettino's playing players out of position, picking wrong, like he's getting it wrong, badly wrong. But also, what chance has he got? What chance has he got?
How many better managers could you bring in?
Mate, of course we're going to get exactly. Like, I don't rate Pochettino as highly as you, for example, and Boo, I don't even know how highly you rate him. Good, elite, brilliant, the best, average, whatever, wherever you see him. But I think we'd all be in agreement in terms of where us three, if we use us three as a case study, all support different clubs, where we rate him is all on the barometer of good, right? So some would be better than good and further along, but nobody thinks he's not a good manager, right?
Top coach.
Top, yeah, and a decent enough record. Not brilliant in my opinion, but decent enough record. We're not going to get a better manager than him, and the problem's obviously not him. There are 10 problems at the club that aren't Mauricio Pochettino. So the other thing that we have to remember is, what players can he pick? Do you know when we played Forest? Steve Cooper's a good manager, right? Forest turn up, they know exactly how to play against Chelsea. They got that big centre half, right? That Joe Worrell, who's looking at our players, and Joe Worrell's played through the leagues, and he's hard, and he's a geezer, right? He's done it all. He's not going to be
Forest
proper.
Yeah.
He looking at Chelsea, we're all kids. So, yeah, Mudryk probably has more skill than Joe Worrell. He's probably a better footballer. Joe Worrell's like, shut up. Like, because we don't have that. So, back in the day, you'd do that. And Michael Essien will go, no, actually, mate, you shut up. Or Michael Ballack will go, no, actually, mate, Frank Lampard's now got you around the throat. John Terry's headbutted you in the tunnel.
Yeah.
We ain't got that because we're all kids.
Yeah.
And we're buying all these players with potential. So, you've got Nicholas Jackson up front. He's been bought as potential. Like, because he scored about 8-9 goals in a row at the end of last season for Villarreal. And Chelsea, some idiot at Chelsea in the board went, I'm going to buy him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no thought to it. Our squad, right? You know when they go Chelsea's average squad? Chelsea's average squad age is 22. 22 kind of sounds young, but it's not true reflection. The reason that it's a 22 is because fucking Thiago Silva's 40. Do you know what I mean? Thiago Silva's 40.
Really say
Thiago Silva's 40 and Raheem Sterling's like 28. So everyone else is a kid.
Yeah.
It's a kid.
It's surreal.
Like the most senior mid. You know when we got our best midfield? Our best midfield, not my opinion, but the best midfield that I think the club see will be Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, and Moises Caicedo. Do you know who the experienced player is there? Do you know who the senior midfielder is? Enzo Fernandez.
One good senior
Enzo Fernandez is our senior player.
Yeah.
He's been at the club for less than a year. He's the geezer. You know when we're talking about potential captains? My mate's gone, Fernandez? Wait, what?
Yeah, it's mental.
What?
That's why Reece James has ended up with it.
Reece James ended up with it. Conor Gallagher's doing it.
Uh-huh.
Mate, it's a complete mess.
You want to feel more depressed? Manchester United have lost half of their Premier League games this season, and we have basically double your points.
Yeah. No, mate. I mean, I think it's now got to the
We're
stage.
bad. What are you?
Do you know what? I know you are, but what am I? Do you know what? It's got to the stage though, and I don't even want to. I don't really like talking to this because I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true, but I don't know that it's not true.
Yeah.
40 points.
Oh.
No, because I don't know. Look, I don't think that it could happen. But we saw a lot. Do you know Chelsea have won this year? The date today, right? 25th. 25th of September, nearly October.
Yeah.
This calendar year, take a stab, in fact, pair of you.
It's 3 wins, isn't it? Is it 3 wins? 5 wins.
Leicester City have more Premier League goals than Chelsea this calendar year.
Yeah.
And they're a championship team.
Well, mate, we can't score goals. Like when we played Forest and they just beat us 1-0. They showed the world, not that it was a secret, I think everybody would have known this, but Steve Cooper showed the world how you beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You make it physical. You have to be ruthless. Like, well, you're not going to get many chances because there's still good players there,
Yeah, you're keeping the ball well. Your possession stats in the last few games have been fantastic.
Do you know what you just said? You said the most annoying accidentally.
Yeah.
Do you know what you've done? And where do you boys rank this chat? It makes me want to die. Some people are kind of positioning Chelsea's terrible performances, terrible results, but going, don't worry about it because the stats tell us, the XG tells us that we're going to be fine. And that just blows my mind.
I don't mind that with like a striker. You know, like a striker, he's getting into the position, so eventually he should be okay.
Yeah.
But you know, when he's based on a whole team and a whole it's like
Chelsea are looking after the ball well. We're creating chances.
Eventually, you're gonna have to start. Or why are you just looking after the ball? Like, there's a reason for that. That means you're not breaking through the line. You're not taking chances.
Do you know what people don't rate as well? There's a lot of time when the manager of the opposition will let you have the ball. So, you know, when Chelsea could easily get 65% possession. Yeah, because they don't want they don't want the ball.
They want to be deep anyway.
They want to be deep
to hit you on the break.
Exactly.
Yeah,